The following broadcast is a presentation of iRacing Motorsport Simulations live on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our partners for their support.
He may get the run on the outside, off of the back straightaway. 26 and Hallmark trying to go three wide, no one with him.
Talking and bobbing and weaving down the back straightaway, looking for a way around. The 5 machine trying to take a look underneath the 3 car. He's gonna dive in down to the bottom. A huge move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Back bumper. Can anything happen through the tri-oval? Walker Thomas to the inside. Here he comes to the outside. Side by side through the tri-oval. The 14, it's going to be a photo finish to the line. Who's going to get it? Walker Thomas.
Machine coming out of turn number 4. Tiller looking to go 3 wide, almost 4 wide. He's going to try to look for a gap. Bobbing and weaving for the lead down through the tri-oval.
Photo finish.
2x2. The 65 gets the win.
The car behind me is my Chili Bowl midget, the one that I won the Chili Bowl with. And what's interesting about that is it's actually the car that iRacing scanned that's going to be available to all the iRacing members out there.
Once again, photo finish here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Will it be Tim Hogan? It's going to be Christopher DeMerit at the line.
Hello and welcome, race fans, back to PTR TV here at the Kansas Raceway, or the Kansas Speedway, around there here tonight to the ASRS Maxwell Customs Truck Series here at the Kansas Speedway, and with the Pound Buddies No Kill Shelter 150 here tonight, and should be a good show. Very fast racetrack. These guys going to be full throttle pretty much the entire time around here. A little bit of a draft here to work with, and possibly keeping these guys racing close together. Brandon Krutz joining me as always is Corey Silva. Corey Silva doubling as our tech producer every night, and Joe Chris and behind the scenes. So should be a good show. Corey, how you doing?
Good, Brandon. Good to be back here for American Sim Racing Series. We brought you the Truck Series at Dover last week. Now, as obviously stated, we are at the Kansas Speedway this week for tonight's race, and qualifying is still with 2 minutes remaining, but most drivers have run their laps, and looks like Jordan Ashland top of the board tonight.
Yeah, so far so good for Jordan Ashland. Not too much longer left in qualifying, just a couple of minutes left. Jordan Ashland up on top with a 30.763. The next guy back is Sam Maxwell. Good to see him up front. He's got a 30.775. Couple of guys tied back there for fourth with a 30.777. That's Chase Bonser and Andy Veltman. So really close times here tonight, Corey.
Yeah, as kind of previously stated, Kansas Speedway, a very fast racetrack, so it does really bring these drivers close together, especially on the scoreboard. It is a progressively banked track, as we all know, so 18 degrees of banking on the inside of the track, then 19 in the middle, 20 on the top. So because of that progressiveness, these drivers will want to maximize the banking and be right up against the fence.
Hearing from a couple of drivers that it should be expected that the first couple of laps will be kind of full throttle around the bottom, and then these guys going to be pretty much full throttle the whole time right around the top side. How important are tires going to be here tonight, Corey?
I don't have, to be honest, I don't really have much of an answer for that question, so we'll have to find out. I would think that they will wear out, maybe get a little bit loose over the course of a run, but we're going to have to find that one out together.
So, just under a minute left here. Jordan Ashland still up in a top spot. It looks like everybody did turn a qualifying lap.
So it will be interesting to see how these drivers are able to fare over the course of 100 laps of racing here tonight. We'll give you the point standings in just a minute, but just want to thank everyone for tuning in to tonight's race here on PTR TV. We did have our big podcast last night. Go back and check that out. 10-year review of iRacing. Obviously, iRacing, what we use here on the service, we all love it dearly, and it has been out for a decade. So you want to check that out and give our thoughts on the last 10 years of iRacing. But without further ado, that is the changeover, so we will bring to you the PTR TV starting lineup here from the Kansas Speedway. On tonight's poll with a lap time of 30.764, as we said, Jordan Ashland, so that 27 on the pole here tonight. Sam Maxwell on the outside of the front row. In the third spot, we have Chase Bonser, and then Andy Veltman in fourth. Tyler Seville in 5th, Mitch Brown in 6th, Devin Sarah 7th, Troy Haight in 8th, and then rounding out your top 10, Evan Black and Michael Karobik.
Starting in the 11th position is going to be Matt Howell. Starting 12th is Mark Cohn. Steve Buhala starting in 13th. 14th is Ryan Sampson. Jordan Miller starting 15th. 16th is Stephen Trombley, rather. 17th is Jason Stewart. 18th is going to be Tim Knott. Chad Finley starting 19th. Rounding out the top 20 is Jay Graves Jr. Corey.
Jared Mogart in 21st, Tom Gianni 22nd, Jared Haggerty rolled off 23rd, Nick Curling in 24th. Brad Cross, Pete Baskins 25th and 26th, then rounding out your top 30, Richard Fletcher, Brendan Boyd, Justin Rector, and Robert Vining.
Starting in 31st is going to be Thomas Wagner. Kevin Mingus starting 32nd. 33rd is Brian Yazik. Nick Kaufman starting 34th. 35th is Steve Ritter. 36th is going to be Clarence Bonner. And rounding out the field in 37th is Jim Foose.
So that is your field here tonight. The weather conditions these drivers will be dealing with tonight, 68 degrees in the air and on the track, 73% humidity, and about a 12-mile-an-hour wind from the north.
So, ladies and gentlemen, 37 cars on grid. It should be, I believe, 36 trucks starting tonight. I believe Nick Kaufman may be a DNS, so should be an interesting race here tonight.
Yeah, most certainly. We will see how it plays out in regards to that, and see how these drivers do run. Hopefully we have a nice green flag race for you guys here tonight, so we'll again, we will hope for that. But these drivers now rolling off of pit lane, and one pace lap around Kansas, and we will be underway.
The field going to get stacked up, doubled up, ready to go green flag racing right now behind the iRacing official pace car. Should be some good racing here tonight. The 27 of Jordan Ashland on pole. Sam Maxwell to his outside of that 98 machine. These guys ready to go green flag racing.
Yes, they are. The outside groove is where you're going to want to be when the race is at its later stages, but at the beginning part, you're probably going to want to be on the bottom for these opening laps, so we'll see how that plays out.
So the pace car will be making its way down into pit lane, this time by Jordan Ashland. Going to be leading these guys to the green. New restart rules in effect here tonight. These guys must go on the green flag, and of course no passing before the start finish line. So these guys waiting for the drop to green, getting into the restart zone now. Green flag is in the air. We're underway for the first time tonight at Kansas.
Very good start on the outside groove. That is the number 98 machine of Sam Maxwell there on the outside. But this opening start, you're going to want to be on the bottom. So the 27, it will prevail. Try to take the 83 with them.
Coming down out of turn number 2 now, going to be side by side for that second position. Sam Maxwell still up on the high side. Jordan Ashland trying to defend that low side now. Almost went 3 wide for the lead that time by the 83 machine. Back there looking for position. That's Chase Bonser.
Bonser in the 83 lost some ground there off corner number 4, but for the third spot we are battling 63 Tyler Seville and then 98 of Maxwell to the top of the racetrack, and we'll see who prevails through 1 and 2. Looks like the 63 will have the shorter distance around with the fresh tires. He'll pull away just by a little bit through center of the corner, but 98 has the momentum off exit.
Heading down the back straightaway now, these guys are going to be side by side, 2 by 2 back there from second on back. Looks like number 63 machine trying to look for position around. He's battling. Here comes the number 20 machine of Devin Serra as well.
Yep, Serra in the 20 all the way down to the flat there. You're going to have to merge back onto the track to get turn 1 with a proper corner entry. Had a little bit of a low entry there. Maxwell will take a 3 wide through the center.
3 wide now, heading down at a turn number 2. These guys starting to get really racy. Evan Black back there with nowhere to go. That number 99 machine as well. Now Serra backs out of it. Sam Maxwell still trying to defend that position.
Maxwell will clear for the position on Seville. Here comes Serra underneath the 63 of Seville, and Evan Black will try to take a peek in the middle. He won't have the momentum to do so. He will just kind of hang back, and looks like he will stay to the bottom of the racetrack.
Side by side now, heading down through turns 1 and 2. Evan Black right onto the back bumper of Serra. Now heading down out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Evan Black, a little bit of momentum, a little bit of contact. Back there now, the 63 of Seville pushing Serra down into turn number 3.
Yeah, Seville lost a spot to Serra. Here comes the 99 underneath Serra. That is for the 4th position. And Brandon, they're getting to the point where I think that bottom is going to start being used up. These drivers will have to go to the top of the racetrack to find that grip pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Evan Black trying to make a move to the bottom, however. Now going to be side by side for that position up there. Evan Black drifts up the racetrack just a little bit. Maybe loses a little bit of momentum off. Maybe forced to lift off that throttle just a little bit. I don't think these guys are going to be able to hold the bottom for very much longer, Corey.
Yeah, I think it's already on its way out up front. You can see that 27 of Ashland and the 83. They are nose to tail here. Sam Maxwell hanging right behind this. We're going to see if anything happens. This is at the stage where it's going to be hard to pass. You can see here comes a 83 rather to the top of the track. Maxwell will try to look underneath.
The top of that racetrack just doesn't seem like it's quite come in. I saw Evan Black made a pass on the bottom side as well. Sam Maxwell maybe going to look underneath that 83 machine. Not going to be able to get anything done that time by those guys. Going to stay single file back there. Evan Black under some fire now. Now about to maybe lose 2 positions back there.
Here comes a 63 trying to get another pass complete. Try to push him back 1 spot to the 6th position. Mitch Brown lurking behind this, the 18. Try to see what's going to happen. You can see Brown all the way to the top of the track. That will be the preferred line. In fact, I believe it is now the preferred line as the tires age.
Yeah, that high side seems to have come in. Caution flag on the speedway.
Tom Gianni on the back straightaway, the 139 sideways. About 4 or 5 drivers appear to have some issue on the back straightaway, so we will go back on replay and try to find the cause of this.
A little bit of carnage down the back straightaway. I didn't see any super hard impacts, so Corey, these guys may be able to get some things going back. It looked like there was some contact between the 6 and the 8. Jared Haggerty and Jay Graves Jr. It looks like Haggerty maybe just kind of ran up to the back bumper of that 8 machine. Maybe the 8 had to check up a little bit, but that sent the 8 machine around. Yep. Tom Gianni nowhere to go. The 9 machine looked like he was collected.
The 3 of Baskins hardened to the back of the 44 there.
Oh, yeah, that was some pretty hard contact. Unfortunately, may end up ending his night. Tom Gianni with some pretty good front end damage, and that 8 machine has some front end damage as well. A couple of guys spinning to the inside without hitting anything. Good job to them.
Yeah, so I will see here on lap number 8, I would imagine the majority of the field will want tires already, and that does appear to be the case. good amount of drivers on the pit lane, but a couple drivers staying out for the potential for the bonus point. Andy Veltman in the 97. I believe he will be scored the leader at the stripe, but everybody else down there to the attention of their crews.
Yeah, Jordan Ashland gonna have that first pit stall coming in, and or coming off the exit of pit road here. First one in. Has the advantage. Looks like we do have one driver that stayed out, Andy Veltman.
Yeah, I'd imagine he's doing that just for the bonus point, but we will see what happens here as the race off of pit lane, and it does look like the majority of the drivers took 4 tires there. I thought maybe there would have been a 2-tire call to experiment, but that did not be the case. And on the speedway, we have the 97 of Veltman, and the 47 Richard Fletcher did stay on the speedway.
Yep, so the 97 and the 47 going to be out on the speedway, and maybe expecting those guys to come in this time. Expecting some of these guys to go in this time. They would be at a pretty big disadvantage here off the restart.
I would say so, as those guys were already working to the top of the racetrack. Those fresh tires will allow you to go right around the inside of the track, as Fletcher will go into the pit lane. Steve Ritter right behind him. I think Ritter missed his box the first time by. But the 97 shows no signs of pitting, so he will remain on the speedway for when we do get this race restarted. We didn't get to bring it up in pre-race, so I will bring it up now. I just want to give you guys a, we don't have the graphic, but I can give you a verbal representation of the point standings right now. Leading the standings entering tonight's race after Dover is Tom Gianni with a 13-point lead over Brian Yazik. Jared Mobgard is 30 points back in third, then Devin Serra 37 back in fourth, and Jason Stewart 48 back in the 5th position. Drivers are halfway after tonight's race. Will be at about the halfway point in their truck series schedule in the regular season. Playoffs will begin at the end of August, so not too much time left. So those drivers who are kind of in a precarious position, they're going to need to get some good runs and get some insurance for later in the season.
Corey, it does look like that 97 machine did stay out on the racetrack. Very interesting call by that team.
He did, definitely did. As we talked about a little while ago, it's going to be a difficult position, so we'll see how he is going to be able to hang on to it.
I know that wheel spin should not be much of an issue here tonight, but he may not be able to run that bottom like the rest of these guys. And on these restarts, until the rest of these guys' tires kind of get some track time on them, it's going to be really, really tough to hang on, but maybe a little bit of an experiment early in this race.
Always better to experiment on the beginning of the race than in the end, so you can kind of figure out where that strategy will lead you when the situation presents itself. So everybody else is just going to have to be on their game and make sure they can prepare for the worst, just in case he doesn't get going very well. But here we are entering turn number 3 and 4, and pace car will pull off in about a quarter of a lap, and we will get this race back underway.
A field stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back. Green flag racing right now, pacing behind the iRacing official pace car. Now, that'll make its way down and back into pit lane, this time by the field in the hands of Andy Veltman. Of course, these guys have to go on green. They have to go in that restart zone here, and when the drop of the green goes out, that's when they can hit the throttle. Green flag is now in the air. They're on the throttle. We're back underway.
And a very even start from both lanes. Here we go. We're
up to the outside wall. Guys dodging. Oh, around goes the 97 machine. Big carnage. Hard contact. Trucks up and over. Upside down. Flipping down into turn number 1. Big wreck. They're still wrecking.
Oh my goodness. The 28 of Troy Haight was on his roof for the entirety of turn 1 there.
3/4 of the field involved in that wreck, or so it seemed. Nobody had anywhere to go there. The track completely blocked going down into 1.
Trying to get a decent view of that wreck, so just bear with me, folks, while I try to...
It started out of the front row with that 97 machine.
Yeah, the 83 of the 83 of... How am I forgetting? I believe it's Bonser.
Jordan Ashland. It looked like 83 they just came
was in the
into
wall,
each other.
and then as the 83 came off the wall, he went into the 97, and then everybody else just calamityed on in that afterwards. See that from
a couple of guys up in the front made it through, but that was about it. That looked like, yeah, piling into that was about 3/4 of the fields. Guys were lucky if they could make it through. Cars flipping down through turn 1, and absolute carnage.
Yep, so
lots of guys in their pit stalls right now.
Remember, we do not have backup trucks in ASRS, so these drivers will have to get their trucks repaired or ultimately take it behind the wall. So we will see how that fares. But as we're on our second caution of the race, we will step away for the first side-by-side break. So stay with us. We'll be back with you for the restart.
Red Bull GRCs are now available on iRacing. I personally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, developing the cars, the tracks, the dirt, making sure it is authentic as possible, and I really think you guys are going to love it. The best part is that this 600 horsepower Volkswagen Beetle is free to all members. So get signed up now and come race me online.
And we're back at Kansas here after the second caution of the race, getting ready for the restart. After what was just the Kansas big one, we saw a good portion of drivers get some serious damage, but all the main front runners did manage to get through that, so here they come, getting ready for the restart.
The field stacked up behind the iRacing official pace car. Now, try this restart once again. Pace car making its way down into pit lane. Now Jordan Ashland in control, waiting for the drop of the green flag. Green flag is in the air. We're underway once again from Kansas.
Very good start by each lane there. These drivers are on their game. 99 of Black all the way to the back bumper of the 27 of Ashland. Entering quarter number 1 will push the 27 by the 20, and the 99 will take a shot at P2.
Heading down into turn number 2 now. Evan Black maybe going to look down low. Not going to work that time by Ashland. Riding all the way in that middle lane, trying to defend that position. Now heading down into turn number 3. Sarah going to get pushed off to the outside. Here comes Maxwell to his inside. The battle for the lead still continues.
Yes, it does. And still are side by side are Maxwell and Sarah for the 3rd spot. Black is behind the number 27 machine, very close. But here comes Brian Yazik getting himself in the picture here. Passes the 18 machine of Mitch Brown, gets himself into the top 5.
Sarah now makes a dive under the 98 machine of Maxwell, heading down into turn 3. Now here comes Evan Black for the lead. Battle for the lead side by side, 2 by 2 for the first couple positions here. Now new leader out of turn number 4, Evan Black. Sam Maxwell almost up to the outside wall there. The 99 machine going to lead that lap.
He's going to have to go up and clear, and he will do exactly that. So number 99 truck has sole possession of the lead. Now the 27 will have to try to hold off the 20 on the bottom, and he's going to have to get that battle done very quickly because Maxwell's right behind this.
Heading down into turn number 3 now. Going to be side by side for position number 2. Sarah takes that position away from Ashland. Ashland having a hard time up there on the higher side. Now here comes Sam Maxwell. Maybe get a duck to his inside.
Yeah, Maxwell is all over. You can see the little bit of left rear damage. He must have got through that last contact, but now Ashland again dives it to the inside. That line's only going to work for a few laps after these restarts, so he's going to have to take care of him quickly.
Side by side, heading down into turn number 3 now. 27 clips the apron, drifts up the racetrack a little bit, almost a little bit of contact between those two drivers now. Now heading down the front straightaway, the 27 still kind of right there, not quite clear. Now heading into turn number 1, he'll clear the 20 machine Zara.
Yes, he will. 20 all the way to the top. Now the 20 will maybe leave the door, but for the 98, actually, that did not happen. So single file for the top 5 positions at the moment. But we'll go back to the later end of the top 10. In fact, to the 12th position, here's the 91 of Nick Curling to the inside of the 139, Thomas Wagner. That moves Curling up to P12.
Battle just inside of the top 10 now. Jim Foose trying to take away that looks like the 8th position away from the 12 machine back there. 12 machine being Matt Howell. Now Matt Howell gets stuck up on the outside there. Maybe got a little bit of loose. Almost contact between him and the 63 machine now.
Yeah, he lost about 4 positions there over the course of 1 corner, but here comes the 00 of Jared Mogard taking him to the fence line. He is all the way up to the top of the racetrack. 63 of Seville underneath him, but Mogard will have the momentum and get to the back bumper of Foose and maybe try to make a move for the 8th spot.
Battle for the lead up front now. Corey Evan Black lost the lead. Jordan Ashland making his way back up through. Here comes Devin Sarah as well. Evan Black makes a dive to the inside. Now going to be side by side for the lead. Devin Sarah maybe going to look to take it 3 wide. Nowhere to go heading down into turn number 3.
Evan Black kind of dodged with the apron there a little bit, but he managed to hold on to the truck and keep the momentum, so he'll hold on to the lead that he has just newly acquired. 27 may have some momentum up top, but here is the push from Sarah on the inside. Maybe a little bit of draft.
Yeah, the draft could definitely be helping these guys out. Now Sarah dives down to the inside. Evan Black goes up high. Is Sarah going to be able to hold on to the position down there? Not going to work. Evan Black clears without momentum. Now Jordan Ashland right to his back bumper.
And Evan Black choosing to go to the inside of the track. Maybe he thinks those tires still have a little bit of life there on the inside, but that'll sacrifice his exit speed. Maybe give the 27 some headway down the front straightaway.
Now, I did run a couple of laps here earlier, Corey, and something I noticed is the inside in 3 and 4 is a lot easier to run than the inside through 1 and 2, and I think it's just because you got a wider exit down through 3 and 4.
Yeah, that could definitely be it, and it gives you the opportunity to do exactly what the 27 is now, the Kansas dive bomb. He's going to sail it on in there, but he's not going to have enough. Black will have the momentum from the center off and will hold on to the spot and clear and shut the door on him.
I think that bottom line pretty much done for now. Going to be ring around the rosy up on the high side now. These guys just going to have to ride it out as Devin Sarah maybe trying to take advantage of Jordan Ashland, trying to make his way back up to the high side. Thought about looking up high. Now he's going to shoot down low side by side for that second position.
And what will he do? Will he do the Kansas slider? And he will try it, but it's not going to go anywhere, so he will maybe hold door-to-door off corner exit, but he will not have the momentum. 27 gets the mow off turn 4 and should hang on to it.
Devin Sarah not giving up quite yet. Still right on the back bumper to that 27 of Ashland, but here comes the 98 of Sam Maxwell as well.
Yeah, but they have kind of separated up. But here we go. The 91 of Nick Curling lost a couple spots to Foose and Brad Cross. Brad Cross took a look into the inside of Foose. That is for the 10th position with the diver into turn number 3 is that blank number yellow truck of Brad Cross, but he will not be able to do anything with it down there. And just ahead of this, Jared Mogard thought he was going to take a look to the inside of Ryan Samsel, but and nothing doing here. These drivers are pretty well single filed out.
Corey, did you say the number yellow truck?
I thought I said the blank yellow truck, but maybe I didn't say that.
Anyways, Jim Foose, he is actually losing a couple of positions now, and Jordan Ashland in trouble, losing many of spots.
Yeah, we'll try to go back on replay, Brandon, and see what happened. I'm going to take a stab at that. He probably got into the barrier, and let's see here on replay. He is behind Evan Black through 1 and 2, and
that's what happened.
I'm going to say we just finished a dirt track race, Brandon, in your league, and I'm going to say he jumped the cushion there, and into the fence he went.
Yeah, no, this is not what you're supposed to do onto the asphalt. Maybe in the Outlaw Racing Series, but not here.
Jumping the aerodynamic cushion, if you will, and just getting into the fence. That is kind of the Kansas stripe, whatever we want to call it here, the iRacing version of Kansas Speedway. But into the fence is the 18 machine, did the same exact thing. He is majorly slow. Some serious damage, so these guys are going to have to get around him as he is substantially off the pace, but everyone does manage to navigate safely.
Something that I didn't really expect earlier, Corey, but out with all these damaged trucks, Evan Black may have to come up to some pretty heavy lap traffic. Right now it's okay, but I'm sure he's going to start coming up to some of these battling lap trucks here in a little while. That
is the 11 truck of Jason Stewart. If you remember, dating back all the way to last season, we covered Jason Stewart at a championship race at Homestead. Actually was the season champion in this series last year. Unfortunately, he is now a lap down. But a couple other drivers that will be ahead of Evan Black, so he will have to be on his game, but I would expect these drivers to use some courtesy and get to the inside, but we will see. Ashland is now in the 9th spot, trying to dig his way back forward as he is, again, battling with the number 42 machine. And look at the run he gets here. Foose did not run the top. He left the top lane open. Ashland fills that with a vengeance and takes the spot easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Now heading down into turn number 3, Jim Foose maybe going to try to dive down to the inside. Not going to work. Not enough power there off the bottom lane. Going to lose that momentum. And Ashland, maybe a little bit of connection issues here, something he has to watch out for.
But what Jim Foose did there is he was too conservative. At Kansas, it's kind of like you have to go for blood here. You can't, if that opening's there, if someone leaves you just hardly a lane up top, you have to pounce on it. That is your opportunity to pass. So if you run the middle, you're going to give that top open, and I'll tell you, these guys are going to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So something that you really have to watch out for, and especially if you're in a battle like Corey said, you really got to defend that top lane.
So now we are kind of on a pretty decent run here of about 25 laps, and typically, Brandon, the fuel load in these machines is about 20 laps, huh? It's about 50 laps, so that would put us around lap 60. So if this thing goes green, which it's kind of has a green flag flare to it, I'm assuming there's going to be one more pit stop, and it'll be interesting to see when these guys decide to call it.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that will be coming up pretty soon. These guys ticking off laps fairly quickly now that everything is spread out. So should be interesting to see what some of these guys call, as I would expect these guys to run the tanks dry. I mean, lap time is not going to change too much running the high side.
Yeah, we are about a second approximately off these guys' best laps. Evan Black's best lap was about a 30.7. He ran a 31.56 last time by, so he's about, like I said, about a second or so off his best lap. So
caution on the speedway.
That's why I don't talk about green flag runs. We have Steve Ritter, the 16, to the inside grass, and we'll take the tow truck back to the pits. We will see what happened to the number 16 of Steve Ritter. He had a battle with the number 1 machine. And
that 1 machine did a really good job of staying off of him.
Hard on the binders, and that number 1 is Mark Cohn. Go on board with Mark here. But yeah, looks like maybe Steve he lost the air on the spoiler, and just there was a little bit of a close endeavor there, and that may have just took the air off of him, and just a slow loop right around. But it'll put us under caution for the 3rd time today. Evan Black will assemble behind the pace car, and the field will follow, and we will presumably have a very busy race off pit road.
Yeah, Evan Black going to be the first one down into pit road here from the lead. Everybody, of course, follows. Black, actually, I noticed something he did. He really did a good job of spacing himself out just a little bit further away from the rest of the field coming into pit road. So, puts him at a slight advantage.
I was able to... like he was able to get in his pit stall cleanly, so that will again help. But kind of a little clever trick, and it's a little bit risky, but you can give it just a little bit of throttle before you hit that cone, and it could give you maybe a little bit of space over your competitors, but it's sometimes a little easy to overshoot that and get a speeding penalty there, but that doesn't seem to be the case for anybody up front, so Evan will win the race off of pit lane.
Yeah, so went into pit road with the lead, now comes out with the lead as well.
Sam Maxwell in the P2.
Somebody else that does have a really fast truck tonight, Sam Maxwell in that number 98 machine. You're going to have to watch out for him for the win as well.
Now, we talk about Maxwell on pretty regular occasion where he has a lot of good runs and doesn't get the showing for him that he deserves. He was able last week to kind of claw, if I remember correctly, he was able to claw himself back into a better position than he had prior, but he is currently 7th in the points, 53 out of the lead, but he is only 1 point behind Tim Knott and only 5 points behind Jason Stewart. Stewart not having a good run, so he will gain that time, and then Tim Knott all the way back in the 16th position, so seeming to be a good points day for Maxwell if all stays similar.
Yeah, absolutely. So 39 laps into this thing, Corey, and not quite halfway, but almost there. These guys taking laps off pretty quick here in the Pound Buddies No Kill Shelter 150.
I'm nearly at halfway here. Again, this is a pretty quick race if it does go green, just because about 30-second laps, only 100 of them. This race could be over in less than an hour if depending how the cards fall. So not a lot of time where if you make a mistake or you're stuck in the back for whatever reason, there's not a lot of time to really recover from that kind of situation.
So we come up to what will be yet another restart here, folks, and should be interesting. Looks like your leader, Evan Black, gonna have some pretty serious company up front with him, as these guys They'll get stacked up, doubled up, and ready to go back. Green flag racing behind the iRacing official pace car.
I do want to point out we already have some pretty good attrition right now. Richard Fletcher, Troy Haight, Chase Bonser, Chad Finley, Andy Veltman, Michael Karobik, and Nick Kaufman all out of this race already. Currently have 21 drivers on the lead lap. 40 laps into this race. Your front row will be the 99 of Evan Black. The outside is Sam Maxwell, and then Devin, Sarah, and Jared Mogard up to P4 here. That is the first two rows here. Down the American Ethanol back straightaway at the Kansas Speedway, getting ready to get this race underway yet again.
Yeah, absolutely, and remember the new restart rules in effect here tonight, folks. So these guys have to go on the green flag, and they have to stay as close as they can to each other here on the restart. So should be interesting. We've seen a little bit of carnage tonight already off the restarts, but so far so good for the most part. Evan Black going to be the control car, but it does have to go on to the green flag. Pace car has made its way down into pit lane. Green flag back in the air. We're underway once again from Kansas.
98 with a good jump on the outside, but it will probably be for naught, as you need to be right on that inside line here on these opening starts. Black will clear for the lead with relative ease, and Devin Sarah filling in the gap. Can Maxwell get inside for third? He cannot. Mogard fills in the gap on the inside.
These guys trying to get the draft off of one another as well. Corey now heading down into turn number 3. Evan Black, that 99 machine, has company from the 20 of Devin Sarah.
Sarah's going to take a look to the outside here, trying to get the right rear fender to Evan Black's. And here he's going to dive to the inside.
Dives into the inside. Power move to the inside of the racetrack. Manages to get it to stick. What a move from Devin Sarah for the lead.
All the way down to the apron there. That was very risky of a move. I think Evan may have cut him a break, letting him back on the track there, but he may not be able to keep the momentum up. Evan Black will have to run the outside. The inside is preferred on these fresh tires, so the 20 may have it.
The 20 machine of Devin Sarah going to lead that lap this time around. A couple of guys battling side by side behind them. Jordan Ashland trying to make his way through the field, but Evan Black ends up losing that lead. Now still running that middle lane. Maybe going to have to try to get down. Here comes Jared Mogard. That doubles here with the 98. Sam Maxwell still back there. And look at the 55, Brian Yazik.
Brian Yazik, always a staple in these races, is the 98 of Maxwell to the inside of Mogard for the third position. Kind of a little bit of drafting help perhaps from the 55 machine of Yazik. Yazik doesn't know where to go right now.
Yazik maybe going to look to take a 3 wide, thinks a little bit better of it. That time by now Maxwell will clear that 0-0 of Mogard, and Brian Yazik, Jordan Ashland trying to take advantage of well. All these cars under a blanket now, going to be side by side, 2x2, heading down into turn number 3.
Yazik to the inside with the help from Ashland. Remember, Ashland was up leading the race earlier, was into the wall there, had to get himself back up through the field. He has done so successfully in the 6th position. Yazik probably has the edge here entering 1 and should clear for the spot.
Brian Yazik does clear for that spot. Jordan Ashland maybe not going to be as fortunate. The tires starting to get some race wear on them, and that bottom line starting to wear off. Brian Yazik not going to be able to quite clear now. Jared Mogard trying to fight up on the high side.
Yeah, he's going to have to do the Kansas slider on them. Is the 55 of Yazik. He has the clear advantage over the 0-0. He needs to go to the top and block the move. He does so. Jump up to the top. He should be fine.
Jordan Ashland now stuck on the bottom lane, maybe making a little bit of headway down there, but looks like he's going to lose it all on corner exit, lost all of his momentum, and it looks like he's maybe stuck trying to find, trying to go behind Jared Mogard. That bottom line through 3 and 4, I've noticed.
Battle for the lead.
Battle for the lead up front now. Evan Black underneath that 20 machine, not quite able to clear.
I think he did the same thing that Sarah did to him, kind of got him all the way down on the inside on the flat. He's going to have to see if he can slide up on corner exit. He was not able to do so. He's better off getting back in line and resetting.
Side by side, still heading down through turns 3 and 4. Sarah running that middle line that time by Evan Black on the bottom. Evan Black not quite able to clear. He's going to try taking the apron, try and doing everything he can to clear before turn 1. Not quite going to work.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to. It's a lot easier to do the diver into corner number 3 than it is into corner number 1. He's going to get tight there on the inside groove, allow the 20 to get the momentum built up, and he'll have to go back into line.
Sarah gonna clear that 99 machine now, heading down into turn number 3. Evan Black gonna have to reset, maybe try to use that draft to get back to his back bumper. We know that is pretty big here from Kansas. These guys running full throttle pretty much all the way around this racetrack, and well, Evan Black gonna try to use that to his advantage. Gonna have to reset, maybe try again here in a few laps.
It does appear, though, that he is the faster of the two vehicles. Maybe he saved a little bit of tires. Maybe tires are wearing out just a little bit. He is closing back to the bumper of the number 20, but if he is going to do it, and here he is, the 20 running the middle, this may allow the 99 to get some momentum built up top. We saw that same thing happen with Foose, and I want to say it was the 27 of Ashland. Maybe Black can close in. Nothing going this time by, but Brian Yazik in the 55 all over the bumper of Maxwell.
Yeah, Brian Yazik does fall off the back bumper of that 98 machine now, but Yazik is going to have company from the 00, the 27, and the 63 back there. If he's not careful, can't get stuck in the loose side now. Tires have a little bit too much wear on him at this point.
Yeah, he has fallen back, and Evan Black has even fallen back off the leader, so these drivers will have to reset. Mitch Brown currently running in the 10th position, but he is under fire. Actually, rather, he's on the opposite. He's under fire, trying to make a move on Jim Foose, who is running the middle again. Foose really needs to be careful running that line. He's leaving the top open, and these guys are going to jump all over that opportunity.
That 18 machine right on the back bumper to that 42 now heading down through turns 3 and 4. The 18 gonna try to pull a power move down to the bottom of the racetrack, heading down the front straightaway side by side.
All the way to the apron, and we've seen a couple drivers do that. It's worked with varying degrees of success. He will dive it on in there to the inside, but Foose will have the momentum. The 18's going to have to really back it off to get that thing to turn off the inside.
Lots of momentum lost by that 18 machine. Now going to get passed up by the 67. The 91 back there maybe going to try to take a position away as well.
67 got the momentum on the outside as Foose left the door open just a little tiny bit. He'll have the momentum down the straightaway. Did lose it as Foose went to the inside, gained some speed, and now entering 1 and 2. You can see the 67 is going to hold the top. Foose is going to go into the middle, and that's going to open the door for the 67 to take the spot.
Samsel up on the high side right now, going to be side by side. Samsel going to have the advantage up on the high side of that 67 machine. It looks like Jim Foose going to lose that position. Down out of turn number 4.
Whoa.
Now has more company, almost some contact there between the 42 and that 18 machine. The 18 going to try again. Down on the left side, heading down into turn number 1.
Nearly some contact there. 18 up the track, nearly dooring to the number 42 through the center of 1 and 2. Foose will get the advantage off a corner exit. 18 trying to hang in there. Here comes the 91 and Nick Curling to fill in the gap up top.
Yeah, the 91 really has nowhere to go right now. He's kind of boxed in between those two vehicles. The 18 machine now dives it down low, trying to pull that power move down off of turn number 4. Maybe going to take it 3 wide as the 91. Maybe thought better of it now, heading down the front straightaway. Now, looks like Jim Foose back with the advantage up high.
Oh, nearly in the fence, into the fence.
The 91 into the wall now, caution flag on the speedway.
Trying to figure out the cause of it. I want to say it was Thomas Wagner because I do not see him on the track, and I have a feeling there was some kind of a netcode incident here, but some kind of a incident limit situation. But if you can help me find that, Brandon.
It's down the front straightaway. It was Thomas Wagner. The 139, it looked like he got disqualified due to the incident limit there, and he just broke loose and came back up in front of the field, and amazingly, everybody missed him, but a hard contact outside wall will end his night.
I think this may be it here. Sorry, I did struggle to find it here on the cameras here, but Said he kind of got on the apron. Oh, actually, there he is. Just a big wiggle, and instead of going through the grass, right into the front of the field there. Someone did a very good job to get by, and again, that was the 13 incident limit, taking one away from the field tonight.
Here comes the field to pit road, led by that 20 machine, Evan Black, right to his back bumper, heading into pit road, trying to get every advantage that these drivers can. Really, really tight going down into this pit road, I've noticed tonight, Corey.
Yeah, every opportunity to pass. It's a lot easier to pass in the pits than it is on the speedway, so if you can take an opportunity in pit lane, that is exactly what you need to do. We'll see here if anybody's pit crew will be able to help them or if they will hurt them. We will find that out here in just a matter of seconds. Here comes Yazik, here comes Evan Black, and then the 20 will clear out by a long shot, so...
Looks like it's going to be the 20, 99, and 98, your top three out of pit road. So, as pit stops conclude, we'll be right back after this quick commercial break. Folks, stay with us.
When I was 16 years old, I was working at a Goodyear tire store, and my boss actually built an old dirt car, street stock Monte Carlo. Went with him one night, fell in love with it. It was a hell of a race, hell of a party, and a big fight afterwards. I was like, this is it. This is it for me. It wasn't long after that, I was driving an old 78 Camaro out of the weeds at that guy's farm. We pulled that thing out and made a race car out of it, and away we went. You know, I think a driver has more to do with the equation going back and racing dirt, whether it's a modified, a late model. You can do more with the race car. You know, the harder you drive it, a lot of times, the better it goes. You can crawl up on that wheel and feel like you made the difference at the end of the night. Asphalt car.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back to Primetime Racing TV, back here with the ASRS Sam Maxwell Truck Series, the Pound Buddies No Kill Shelter 150 here from the Kansas Speedway. Devin Serra still holds the lead. Evan Black to his outside, the 98 and the 55. That's Sam Maxwell and Brian Yazip behind them. Pace car makes his way down into pit lane. These guys are waiting to drop the green flag. Green flag is back in the air. We're underway once again.
We'll see what happens here. Entering corners number 1 and 2. We know on these restarts you want to be right on the inside. Mogard, a power move to the inside.
Wow! Big gutsy move from Jaron Mogard, just squeezing in there. Now, out of turn number 2, heading down the back straightaway. Evan Black gets stuck up on the outside. Sam Maxwell, maybe almost a little bit of contact. Almost some contact between those two drivers. Now Jordan actually going to take advantage.
Yeah, not sure what that was about entering the corner. Maybe Maxwell just trying to get that good arc into the turn, but nearly got into the side of the number 99 truck. So move the 98 into sole possession of second, and the 27 and 99 going for third.
27 manages to clear that 99. Now Evan Black dives it down in the crossover to the inside, heading down the back straightaway. Not quite able to get there this time, but right on the back bumper to that 27 of Jordan Ashland.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be a crossover there, then they almost kind of drafted with each other to get to the back bumper of the 98. Jared Mogard trying to look all over the back bumper of that 55 of Brian Yazik. Nothing doing quite yet. Tyler Seville right behind this, but we may have a battle for the lead.
Sam Maxwell maybe trying to look underneath Devin Zera, but no, Jordan Ashland takes his line away. Going to be side by side for that second position, heading down into turn number 3.
He didn't want to give him space, but he didn't have a choice. 27 was taking a look. Here he comes side by side off of corner number 4. 99 has to make a decision on where to go. He's going to choose to go to the top and help and work with the 98 in the upper groove.
Evan Black really nowhere to go right now. Now going to run that middle line, heading down through turns 1 and 2. The 27 drifts up, almost some contact between Ashland and Maxwell out of turn number 2. Now heading down the back straightaway, going down into turn number 3. The 99, Evan Black, going to take advantage up on the high side.
We do know that it's about 5 or 6 laps, then that inside lane goes away as the tires wear out, so you want to be up top. So it looks like that is where you want to be now, so the 27 may be out to dry, but however on the inside lane this time.
Brian Yazik back there in the 55 machine now as well, but nowhere to go for him right now. Evan Black right onto the back bumper to 98 of Maxwell.
Yes, he is trying to push himself by as the 27 still hanging on for dear life there on the inside. Brian Yazik ready to fill in the spot up top, but the 27 with the big diver off into corner number 3 will clear Black and will try to clear the 98 at the same time.
Power move from Jordan Ashland down to the bottom of the racetrack. Does manage to make it stick now underneath that 98 machine. Can he do the same thing? Heading down into 1. Gonna try the power move. Now slides up the racetrack. Not quite clear. He's
Caution
gonna have to hit the binders. Caution flag is out.
Matt Howell in the 12.
Machine. Oh man, same thing we've seen all night. He got loose running that bottom line, Corey, and snapped up the racetrack. Hard contact for that outside wall. And that may end his night right there.
It's a solo experience there, just getting loose, so that will put us behind the pace car for the, as I have to check here, it'll be the 5th time tonight for about 15 laps as this race quickly entering its waning stages here. We should get restarted with about 30 laps to go. Devin Serra will assemble them behind the pace car. Then we have Jordan Ashland, Sam Maxwell, Brian Yazik, and Evan Black, the top 5. Oh, here they are for pit stops yet again here tonight. Sarah will lead the charge down. You can see here he's trying to get that last second surge on pit entry and kind of caused a little bit of a stack up through the remainder of the top 5, but looks like Yazik will be the first one to peel off as pit stops are beginning again. Before tires and fuel from everybody. I wouldn't be surprised maybe later in the race if there's another caution with maybe less than 10 laps to go. See some 2-tire stops, but I'd have to imagine 4 tires from everybody right now. We'll see what the race off pit road is, and tell you that 20 didn't get a good stop there. That is going to be Sam Maxwell getting off pit lane first.
Yeah, very, very interesting.
From the stops, Brandon, I could see here from the telemetry that the 20 had a 2-second slower pit lane time than anybody else, and that means the entire lane time he spent in the pit lane, and that would most likely indicate he did not get into his pit box very smoothly. So that is a potentially a driver mistake here at Kansas, so that will put him in the 4th position. And Brandon, with 30 laps to go that we should have on a track this hard to pass, you really cannot make these kind of mistakes because it's going to be really hard to get back to the front.
Yeah, absolutely, Corey. And track position, very, very important. And it looks like Evan Black going to be back there. Brian Yasek, I think, gains a position or 2. But yeah, it looks like Sam Maxwell going to be in the hot seat here from the lead.
And Evan Black, for the first time in a few restarts, will be on the inside, which is going to be beneficial, as we saw that you really want to be on the inside groove for these restarts, because you need to be on the inside for at least the first 5 laps. Once those tires wear, it is complete role reversal, and we are right up against the fence.
Many of times already tonight, Corey, we've seen guys dive it down from that 3rd position to take the lead away. So Evan Black could be at a very strong advantage here coming into this restart.
It all depends what kind of run he can get, what kind of timing he has on the initial jump. So we'll obviously be watching that. And just as a full field perspective, 20 drivers on the lead lap right now. Then we have a couple, one driver 2 laps down. That's Matt Howell. And then Clarence Bonner, Robert Vining, Kevin Mingus, all 3 laps down. Jared Haggerty 8 laps down, Pete Baskins 13 laps down, and then Justin Rector 53 laps down, but still turning laps. Still 27 drivers on the racetrack.
So these guys will get stacked up, doubled up, ready to go back. Green flag racing. The front row is going to be Sam Maxwell in the 98, Brian Yasek outside of 55, Evan Black back there in 3rd of the 99 machine, Devin Serra on the outside of that 20, and Jared Mogard rounding out top 5 right now in that 00 machine back there right behind Black.
Yes, sir. So we will see what happens here with 30 laps to go at Kansas Speedway, mile and a half.
Kansas Motor Speedway?
It is whatever I feel like calling it. It's Kansas, there's motors, and it's a speedway, so we'll go with it. But leader Maxwell on the inside, Brian Yasek, the 2nd place driver, on the outside, Black, Sarah in row number 2, Mogard and Ashland row number 3. We navigate through corners number 3 and 4 at Kansas not Motor Speedway, waiting for the iRacing pace car to take the left-hand turn into pit lane. And it does. We wait for the green flag to get this race back underway. And there it is. We're racing again at Kansas American Sim Racing Series.
Pretty good restart by that outside, but it's not going to matter heading down into turn 1. That inside line just too strong here on the restarts, but Brian Yasek doing a better job holding on outside than I thought, and here comes Evan Black, maybe going to look to take it 3 wide, maybe thought some better of it, now down the back straightaway, heading down into turn number 3.
Yeah, Yasek actually got a little bit of an advantage there through corner 1 and 2. We haven't seen that from anybody else on the top of the racetrack, but that advantage is soon dissipating off of corner number 4. Nearly 3 wide for the lead. 55 has lost touch with the lead, but he needs to watch out. Evan Black's going to try to do the same move that Sarah did to him. Couldn't quite do it there.
Devin Serra maybe going to look to take it 3 wide on the outside as well. Not going to work that time by. Right onto the back bumper of that 55 machine of Yasek. Evan Black down to the low side right now. Still trying to hold that position down there. Jared Mogard right to his back bumper. Now Evan Black, the momentum drifts up the racetrack just a little bit. Almost made contact with a 55 of Yasek.
Maxwell drifted up the track, nearly opened the door for the 99 to fill the gap in. He closed that door in a heartbeat. Black's going to really take it to the inside, try to squeeze it on in there. He's not going to be able to do so. Watch out for Yasek to the top. Devin Serra maybe going 3 wide.
Evan Black looks like maybe he'll clear Yasek. 3 wide. Those guys 3 wide back there for the 3rd position, heading down into turn number 3. Watch out, Brian Yasek. Here comes Devin Serra.
Yasek got the short end of the stick there, thrown all the way to the top of the racetrack with the 99, taking a look again all the way to the flat, taking the stripe with the left rear quarter panel underneath Sam Maxwell. He's going to have a shot for the lead entering corner number 1.
Battle battle for the lead. Power move down to the bottom of the racetrack for that 99 machine. Drifts up just a little bit. Close racing going on. Devin Sarah right to the back pump of the 99 machine. Down the back straightaway now. Still going to be side by side now. 2 by 2.
Entering the corner here, Black straddle on the white line, gets him a little bit loose. That's going to slow his momentum down, and he's going to maybe give the spot up to the 20, give him some momentum. Not quite happening. 1, 2, 3 on the flat. Here comes Yazik to the top on the entry turn number 1.
Heading down into turn number 1 now. Evan Black moves up to the high side. Brian Yazik and Devin Sarah still running underneath him. Devin Sarah looks low. Going to be 3 wide for that second position out of turn number 2.
Yazik get backside of the 3 wide, goes behind the number 99. The 20 stuck to the bottom. Here comes Evan Black with the slider down into corner number 3. Pulls door to door with the number 98 machine of Sam Maxwell, battling for the lead, entering 75 laps into this race. They're going to be door to door at the stripe.
Side by side, 2 by 2, door to door racing going on all throughout this pack right now. Battle for the lead is on. Evan Black now underneath the 98 is Sam Maxwell. Heading down on the turn number 2. Still going to be 2 by 2 down the back straightaway. Devin Sarah now side by side with Brian Yazik as well. Big move by the 63 back there. Still holds it straight. Maxwell going to hold that position out front.
The timer is running out for the number 99 truck on the inside with the tires. He knows that he needs to get this pass made or get to the top before he starts losing spots. There are about 9 laps into this run. The bottom can't hold out for much longer.
Now heading down into turn number 1, absolutely right, Corey. Evan Black knows that he won't be able to hold that position down at the bottom for much longer. He has to find a way up to the high side, if anything, trying to doing anything he can to take that lead away, or at least hold that second position. But now Brian Yazik sneaks his way up to the high side. Evan Black, another power move down to the bottom of the racetrack.
He tried to do the best he can to take a stab at it, maybe get behind the 98 and in front of the 55, but the 55 had no part of that. He'll fill the gap in up top, and he's going to get to the bumper of the 98 in the process. Entering corner number 1, Black all the way to the white line, and again Yazik blocking that right rear quarter panel, not allowing the 99 up the track.
Devin Sarah falling back as well. Here comes the 63 machine back there, trying to take the position away from him. Brian Yazik still trying to fight that 99 machine. Evan Black maybe going for the lead once again. That bottom line down through turns 3 and 4 still has a little bit of juice left in it, but not quite going to happen down the front straightaway.
Best thing Black can do right now is get right to the back bumper of the 55, get to the top of the track. He did exactly that. Now Yazik, he's going to take a stab at it to the inside of Maxwell off corner number 2.
Evan Black falls back to that 3rd position, kind of gives that position up, but going to catch right back up to these guys. Brian Yazik lost some momentum trying to run that bottom line, not going to work out for him. Sam Maxwell walks away with the lead right now, but he's going to have company once again here real soon with the draft.
Yeah, Black not done with him yet, all the way to the back bumper yet again, waste no time at all. Still side by side behind this, Sarah and the 63 of Seville. Looks like Sarah is going to be choo-choo to the back of the train, but however, role reversal on the inside of the track from what we're used to here. He may be able to get back in line behind the 67 of Samsel.
Evan Black right to the back bumper of 55 and Brian Yazik once again. Not going to be able to do anything here. You can't run the bottom. You can't try to pull that Kansas slider at all right now. The tires just too worn out for these guys. Less than, well, just over 20 to go right now.
Yeah, I think it's 21 on the books right now, and watch out, Tyler Seville on the 63 starting to gain some time. We don't talk about tire wear too much, but it does come into play where these drivers will get a little bit loose. You will see a little bit of slowdown in these drivers up top as the 27 of Ashland takes a stab at it to the inside of the 63 of Seville. That'll allow the 99 to pull away just a little bit as he's back to the bumper of Yazik yet again.
Maxwell had a close encounter with Wall out front, just missed it, but these guys have been playing with that outside safety barrier pretty much all night here. Something that we really got to watch out for once we start to get a longer run in, Corey.
Yeah, these drivers, especially off corner number 2, they'll probably have a hard time, and of course off corner number 4, they will have a hard time with that safer barrier because sometimes it does jut out in an awkward position, which kind of throws you off a little bit, sucks you right into it. But watch out because Yazik is getting the run here. He's going to try to look to the outside of Maxwell through the tri-oval, entering corner number 1. Not going to happen. Takes a look to the inside, stays in line ultimately.
Right to his back bumper. Not going to happen that time. Probably going to hold single file. But, you know, Corey, these guys are not going to come into pit road from, you know, any more in this race unless there's a caution flag. So these guys, if this thing holds green, those tires are going to be really, really worn out by the end of this thing, and these guys going to have a hard time controlling these race trucks.
Yeah, this will be 35 laps on tires if they indeed go as full for the remainder of the distance. We have not gone that far yet, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, and if anybody up front perhaps used up their stuff and falls back. As a reference, we'll pull up our lap tracker, and fastest one on the speedway by far was the 99 machine of Black, only driver that was in the ones last time by. But regardless of how fast he is, we know how difficult it is to pass.
Yeah, absolutely. So even though Black is that fastest truck, folks, it would take a lot to try to get around the 55 and the 98 for the lead. It's really hard to pass once these tires get worn in.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a matter of maybe getting the guy into the wall. It's going to be a matter of pulling off the Kansas slider, as we've been calling it, or it's just going to be settling for position, because at this point in the run, you can very easily take a stab at a position, try to gain a spot, and you may lose a spot as the end result. .16 to go at Kansas in the race here tonight. The Pound Buddies No Kill Shelter 150. 100 laps around the Kansas Speedway. We have completed about 85 of them. It'll be 15 to go at the stripe this time by. Yazik all the way to the back bumper, within an inch of the back bumper of Maxwell. And look at Evan Black right there, top three separated by about 5 feet.
Heading down into turn number 1 now. The 99 machine right to the back bumper to 55. 55 kind of loses a little bit of momentum. Sam Maxwell running higher than I've seen anybody run tonight. Literally right up against that outside wall. Just inches away from that outside wall. That last time by gave him a huge shot of momentum off the corner, and that'll kind of leave that 55 in the 99 in the dust. A little bit of help from the draft will help them catch back up. Evan Black running all the way down onto the apron through the dry level that time by, but these guys gonna hold single file, kind of secluded away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, Seville has about 3/10 off the back bumper of the 99, and then Jordan Ashland 10th behind him, but then Devin Serra drops back about 7/10 off the back of Ashland. Brad Cross about 8/10 back in the 7th position. Mitch Brown and Mogar, that is 8th and 9th, but that is about 3 seconds off the lead, followed by Ryan Samsel, the top 10 right now.
Yazik maybe gonna try to look to the outside. The door gets shut on him that time by. It was worth a try for the move, but not going to make it work that time by. Now, Corey, if you're in the position of Yazik or Black, what do you do coming to almost 10 laps to go here?
In all honesty, you do nothing. And it sounds so against anything that a race driver would do as Black. Black can do what he wants. Black can go to the outside. He could kind of play his own game. He is the driver at the biggest disadvantage now. He's just playing for fun right now, obviously not in the championship picture. But if you're Brian Yazik in the championship picture, you do absolutely nothing until turn 3 on the final lap, in all honesty. Because you cannot afford to lose time. You can't afford to hit the wall. You can't afford to wreck. It sounds against every racer's instinct, but you really don't do anything. Wait for a mistake or wait to the last lap.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brian Yazik right to the back, right into the wall, collects Evan Black.
You could see that.
I think Evan actually missed that barely.
I do not think he did, Brandon. You could see that.
He did not. Heavy front end damage to Black, and that may end his race. And Brian Yazik as well. No. See if we can go back on PTR TV replay.
See here the contact. Actually, we're off the wrong camera right now, but
Brian Yazik just into the outside wall. I don't know if he didn't see that.
He just, and I've made that mistake at Kansas many a time as well. You just get into the safer barrier as it juts out at the end of the trial. It does come out a little bit erratically, a little bit.
Evan Black into the outside wall now, losing more positions.
Yeah, that
Evan Black, I think that is his race over with.
Yeah, he got that damage off of Yazik. Absolutely nothing he could do in that situation, and that truck must not have been handling decent enough anymore for him to be able to hang on to it. So a very winning potential truck in that 99. PTR TV Silverado, but that run will be for naught. So that'll give Maxwell up front a 7/10 of a second lead. And actually,
Yazik trying to block Ashland back there. Sorry to cut you off, Corey. Jordan Ashland trying to take advantage of the damaged race truck of Brian Yazik. He will clear now. There was almost contact between those two drivers. Brian Yazik trying to hang on to the position.
yeah, Yazik's still trying to, he's not playing dead yet. He may have a run on the front straightaway on the outside.
Not quite gonna work.
So now 8 laps to go for that number 27 truck of Jordan Ashland to gain what is about 9/10 of a second. That's going to be a very large feat. Not sure if he can do it, but you know he's going to try. See if Jordan Ashland, that 27, wants to go back to back. He won at Dover last week, and I'll tell you, he actually gained a 10th. We'll bring up the battle tracker, and he was a 10th faster, a 31.98 to a 31.83. So I mean, he might get there, but I mean, the Kansas question is, how do you get by?
Brian Yazik falling back like a rock now. Doing everything he can to hold the positions, but too much damage on that race truck. Devin Serra and Tyler Seville both got past him. Jordan Ashland doing the best he can to catch the leader of Sam Maxwell now.
Yeah, on this last time by, they pretty much broke even. Ashland was only about half of a 10th faster, so the gap stays at 6/10 of a second with 6 laps to go. Something more erratic is going to happen to give the 27 a chance. So Maxwell just needs a... Oh!
Caution on the speedway!
And that should be the race, as it's Tim Knott on the front straightaway. Remember, in the American Sim Racing Series,
I don't think it's over yet,
Well,
Corey.
Brandon, you must remember that we do not have 1-lap shootouts in ASRS, so
that is right.
If we do not get a green-white checker, the race will be over. So we'll see how quickly this caution concludes. And again, 41, we've seen that about 3 or 4 times tonight. Just got loose and spun it off of 4, and no actual contact, but it did instigate the flagman to throw the flag. So this gives, we're on 5 laps to go. The pits will be open for the lead lap drivers, and then they will be open for the lap down drivers. And then we have a formation lap to get caught back up, and then we usually go green the following time. So I think that would, in iRacing world, give us a 1-lap shootout, which in ASRS world will conclude the race. But we will see if that actually is indeed the situation.
We'll have to see here. Sam Maxwell, as of right now, does hold the lead.
And it will be, if everything goes the way that I just predicted it to be, which isn't always the case, it will be the first win of the season for Sam Maxwell, who has 2 top 5s this season. His best finish was a 4th in the Truck Series at Atlanta. So a well-deserved win, if indeed it is the case. Pit lights still on the pace car. If this race is going to go green for a green-white checker, we need to get those lights turned off this time by. That is, if those lights stay on, this race is over in terms of green flag action.
I don't expect the lights to go out this time by, so this may be the race. But you never know.
And we'll go on board here with Maxwell for the most exciting part of the broadcast is seeing if those lights turn off. Maybe.
Well, I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but
they're not going to turn off.
They're not going to turn off this time, Corey.
Do it.
Getting confirmed by racing drivers.
Do it. He didn't listen to me.
No.
Conflab it.
So, by ASRS rules, this race will be official. No 1-lap shootouts allowed.
So they should, in fact, almost certainly get one to go this time by, and then it will just be waived off once they get around to what would be the one-lap shootout. So we have a first-time winner, not first-time winner overall, but a first-time winner in this season for Sam Maxwell. It'll be a good point stay for him, obviously, getting the win here tonight. And one of the drivers he was battling in the points just spun out, so he may get up indeed to, I'd say he may get up to the 4th position in points after tonight's action, so that'll be good news for him. Brian Yazik, who is 2nd in points after that impact with the wall that took out the 99, should finish in 5th. But the points leader of Tom Gianni, I don't even think we brought him up once today, maybe barely once, but all the way back in the 16th position, so I don't know exactly how it works, but there's a good chance we may have a change up for the points lead after this race.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next race in the season for Truck Series, we will be at Charlotte Motor Speedway for another 100 lapper on May 15th. We have other tracks. We have Rockingham, Iowa, Gateway, Chicago, Kentucky. Brandon, you'll like this. On July 17th, we head to Eldora Speedway.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's been a while since I've gotten to call a dirt track race, and I love it.
July 17th, we got a 100 lapper under the lights at Rossburg, Ohio, the Big E, Tony Stewart's track. So
I can't wait for that one.
The regular season finale will be at Bristol, so that will be a showdown under the lights, and then first race of the playoffs, and this will be an interesting one, is going to be at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park in brackets Mossport. So that is going to be the first road course race of the Truck Series. Got Las Vegas, Talladega, Lucas Oil.
You're the only person, Corey, that I've heard call it Mossport.
Well, that's what everybody calls it before. That's what it was called before it got corporate branding a couple years ago.
Yeah.
For those of us who know track facts, which you should know that I know track facts.
I know that you know track facts, but you should also know that I don't know track facts.
Well,
unless it's certain tracks that I know track facts of.
Like, fun fact, Infineon Raceway. Actually, you probably know that one. Lowe's Motor Speedway. Yeah, corporate branding is not as common as it used to be, but it's still a thing. Like ISM Raceway and...
Yeah, that's I think it's starting to come back more or less with the
Sonoma still needs to be called Sears Point. Let the Sonoma.
It was Infineon for the longest time.
Yeah, and then it was Sears Point Raceway. That's more fun. That's more intense. You know, Sears Point. But regardless of that, we digress off of corner number 3, entering corner number 4. The number 98 machine, the title sponsor of the series, the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series here at the Kansas Speedway. For the race here tonight, the Pound Puppies No Kill Shelter 150 will be won by, indeed, the number 98 machine, the Sam Maxwell Customs Chevrolet Silverado of Sam Maxwell, taking the checkered flag here tonight at Kansas.
Top 3 going to be Sam Maxwell coming home with the win. Evan Black, just kidding. Evan Black, not second. My timing had to update. Sam Maxwell, Jordan Ashland, and Devin Serra going to be your top 3. We'll be back in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us for the post-race show.
Drive them. Well, that was the first thing that I had to learn right off the bat is, oh my gosh, I've got to discipline myself, not overdrive this thing, and that's how you get the most out of it. Truth be told, communicating the right information to your crew and your crew chief so they can do their job and make their appropriate adjustments for you to go faster and do your job is probably 90% of the game in our world. I've always loved late models. You know, my dream was to be a late model driver driving for a living across the country like Daryl and Don do that drive for me. I mean, that was, truth be told, that was my dream, you know. I always wanted a semi. I always wanted a stacker trailer with 2 hot rods in it and let's go racing. Let's take off with your buddies and go race and chase that dream. Never in a million years did I think it would turn into to a Cup Series, and I actually have an opportunity to own two, dirt late model teams. When you think of iRacing, you don't think of a video game. It's not. It's way above and beyond any of that. Dirt racing changes so much. The track changes so much. Being able to capture that, to experience all those details that surround dirt racing and make dirt racing what it is what makes iRacing so cool, because they did nail all of that. I knew when they came to our shop and scanned cars and went to the detail of getting that car right, I knew that it was going to be over the top, because it blew my mind just the work that went into making sure the car itself was legit. This sport has been around a long time. The competition can't be replaced, and that's what brings people back to the racetrack week in and week out.
The yellow flag is out. Pit road is now open. Keep your eye on those gauges. We'll give you 4 tyres. 3, 2, 1, now. We're done. Get going.
And we're back here on PTR TV for the post-race show, the Pound Buddies No-Kill Shelter 150. Saw it end under caution, but it was an exciting race nonetheless, so we will start the post-race interview process by talking to the third-place finisher tonight, Devin Serra. All right, Devin, you took it home in the third position tonight here at Kansas in what was kind of a... It looked like kind of a plate race, but there was a lot of battling, a lot of aggressive moves going on, a lot of interesting and aggressive racing. So talk about what it was like from your perspective tonight.
Oh yeah, definitely. This race had probably the most battling I've had to do all season long. But it was a great time, and even early on we had some battling going on between the top 4. And definitely between Jordan Ashland, Sam, Brian Yazik, and Evan Black. We all had some amazing battling going on as the race went on, and it seemed like, especially in the beginning part, when we were kind of getting single filed a little bit, that we would just go back and forth for a couple laps, and we smooth out a little bit due to the high side. And it felt like as especially the end of the race came around, you just couldn't get away from guys, and especially due to the fixed setups also, it was just a lot of back and forth, go to the low side and pass, and then go back up high and then try and fall in line. So there was a lot of train movement going on. I think for the most part of the race, that it was just going back and forth, side by side action.
So what did that feel like from the driver's seat? What was like your mindset? Was it fun, or was it kind of more of a frustrating thing knowing that you really couldn't get away?
Well, especially early on when we had that first wreck, and then as it proceeded to, you know, go single file, it was kind of, it wasn't especially frustrating, but it was a little bit like, okay, well, we've got to work this out. We've got to play the right moves, play the right passes. And I was able to get past Evan Black on like lap 40 something and take the lead over. And that was just part of the deal, is that if you could get to that inside before the inside lane went away with your tires, then you could definitely pull away. And that's what we did for the first part of the race. And then we got caught up on pit road. We had a bad pit stop and it sent us back to 4th. And I was just trying as hard as I could to make passes early on before my tires started to go. And then I just started getting freight train on the outside and I fell back to 7th. We were able to come back and finish 3rd, so that was a very proud thing of me to do. Felt like we were one of the fastest trucks tonight. I definitely had the speed to win this race, but it didn't work out. And Sam was just the smartest person at the end of the race.
He did a great job driving. It'll be a good point stay for you. Obviously in the 4th place in points. Should gain a couple spots. Maybe you might be able to surpass Bogard for the top 3. But again, congrats on your 3rd place finish. Who do you want to give a shout out to tonight?
First and foremost, I want to thank Ski-Doo, Super Sled Online, Speedco, NVIDIA, Napa Auto Parts, New Era, Cabela's, and everyone else involved. This was a really fast truck for us tonight. We were able to get some good spots tonight and show off the sponsors a little bit. So obviously all thanks to those sponsors for everything they do. Also thanks to Sam Maxwell Customs for their his supply of wheels and custom fabricated wheel parts. This wheel I'm using actually right now is a Sam Maxwell Customs wheel imprinted on my wheel, or the cover of my wheel. And congrats to Sam Maxwell on that one. It's well deserved. The guy does so much for this league. He definitely is one of the guys that deserved it.
Alright, he definitely is, man. We're about to talk to him next, but I'm sure he'll appreciate those kind words. And again, hopefully we'll talk to you coming up next week.
Yep, awesome guys. Thank you.
And now Brandon Krutz will talk to the winner of tonight's race, the number 98 machine of Sam Maxwell.
Yeah, he's out of the race car now. Your winner here tonight, Sam Maxwell. And Sam, how you feeling?
Oh, really good right now, I'll tell you what. Last season, it took me almost to the end of the season to get my first win, and it feels real good to get the monkey off my back early.
Well, man, you were up front the entire portion of this race. Tell us a little bit about how your truck was handling and just your race in general.
Well, in practice, I learned that this was going to be about tire wear and who could control tire wear and manage their tires the best.
Oh, you cut out for us there, Sam.
Oh, Sam, well, we see us queuing up here, but we lost your audio for a second.
No, still nothing.
Okay, how about now?
There we
There
go.
it goes.
Hey, all right. Yeah, in practice, I figured out this was going to be about tire wear and tire management and who did the best job taking care of their tires. So I worked really hard in the race to try not to abuse them, and it paid off at the end. I had enough to drive away.
Well, you know, I'm sure you probably had some close calls tonight. We saw some pretty big wrecks happen up at the front portion of this field. Did you have any close calls tonight, or, you know, maybe some thought in your head that maybe you were not going to be able to walk away with the win here tonight?
Well, about halfway through the race, there was a bunt clench moment coming off of turn 2 when the car started to come around on me, and it was close. I almost lost it, but, you know, I kept it under me, and then from then on, I knew I was going to have to do a better job of, you know, managing those rear tires.
Man, oh man, and do you have any strategy coming to this thing? Obviously, it's pretty full throttle all the way around this racetrack, but you know, pit strategy or anything else coming into this thing that you had in mind?
Yeah, not to make mistakes. The thing is on pit road that it's so costly if you miss your pit box or you don't get in square. You know, any of those little things are the difference because it's so hard to pass here.
Yeah, absolutely, but you did a really, really good job tonight. Is there anyone that you'd like to thank and shout out to?
Yeah, I want to thank Jim for running the league. I want to give a shout out to my wife and the rest of my family. Hopefully they're all watching and cheering me on. And I'll plug my business, Sam Maxwell Custom Steering Wheels. When you need a custom steering wheel, come see me.
Awesome job tonight, Sam. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner here from Kansas Speedway, Sam Maxwell.
Thanks a bunch, guys. It's been great.
All right, so a well-deserved win for the number 98 machine. So let's go out and close out tonight's broadcast with the final rundown from the Kansas Speedway. As we just spoke to, with the victory here tonight was the number 98 truck of Sam Maxwell. So congrats to him on that finish. Jordan Ashland in second, Devin Serra in third. Then we had Tyler Seville in fourth, Brian Yazik in fifth, Brad Cross in sixth, Jared Mogard, Ryan Samsel, Evan Block, and Jim Foose rounding out your top 10. 11th through 20th, Mitch Brown, Brandon Boyd, Nick Curling, Jason Stewart, Jake Graves Jr., Tom Gianni, Mark Cohn, Stephen Tremblay, Jordan Miller, and Tim Nutt rounding out the top 20. And the remaining results will flash by on your screen.
Huge shout out to all of the partners that help us out on the channel. You know, Corey Silva coming in and producing for us pretty much every night here on the channel. All of our crew, Evan Black, that helps us out, come and commentates. Joe Chris behind the scenes, Michael DeGroat, our PR guy, and just shout out to everybody that makes this channel happen, especially to our channel sponsors, starting out with Air Movement Fabrications. They're a family-run business formally established in 2012. With over 25 years of experience in the ventilation industry, they offer a wide range of services. This includes ducting, ventilation, extraction, and canopies. If you're in the Nottingham, UK area, Air Movement Fabrications is a ventilation service of trust. Also, Krutz Custom Graphics, custom racing shirts, hero cards, paint schemes, and much more. From local racers to big race teams, we've got your back. Based out of upstate New York, Krutz Custom Graphics is always P1. Also, iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics, custom graphics, coding, and theme design for iRacing's two main overlay systems, ATVO and IRTVO. If you're a broadcast company looking to make your channel shine with custom overlays, talk to Jason Allison with iBog iRacing Broadcast Overlay Graphics. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon to keep broadcast quality high and costs low for league owners. We need all the help of the fans. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/PTRTV. If you become a patron, you'll get rewards that vary depending on how much you donate. Become a patron at patreon.com/PTRTV.
Alright, so that's another broadcast here on PTR TV. Brought you the Sam Maxwell Customs ASRS Truck Series here live at the Kansas Speedway. Congrats again to Sam Maxwell in the 98 for his win. Go back last night and watch the replay of a 10-year review of iRacing featuring Andrew Cardinal from Pit Stop TV. About an hour-long special with our review and our opinions on iRacing in the past 10 years. We appreciate if you went back and checked that out, give us your opinions, and hopefully we can do some more similar stuff like that. And of course, all of our broadcasts here on the channel, Tuesdays with ASRS, Thursdays with Rivalry Racing, Hardline Racing on Fridays, and Integrity on Racing League on Mondays. Stay tuned for all that. Like and subscribe so you don't miss a minute of the action. So again, signing out of the booth here tonight, Corey Silva and Brandon Krutz, Joe Chris behind the scenes. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll catch you next time.
Have a great night, everybody. Catch you next time.